Monsieur Neuvillette?
I probably shouldn't disturb them.
Looks like we got lucky today. There's...
Traveler, can you still hear the voices from the fountain?
Perhaps leave the investigation to me.
A safe distance? Never... Whoa, it's glowing! Thank you for bringing us here, Monsieur Neuvillette. The Cour de Fontaine is truly incredible.
I understand your excitement, but there's no... Although I have responded to your wishes, it was not without personal interest. Melusine's special sight make them especially
I know, but not only can I repay you for your kindness,
But a meaningful life also comes with its...
it's definitely the safest to just stay in the village. In truth, I've never really understood the purpose of my existence. For almost 20 years, we've stayed in our village without finding any answer.
I understand your confusion. I too came here for an answer to my questions.
Really? Could you tell us what we should do to fit in? The truth is, many people threw rocks at us today and told us to go back to our village.
Logically speaking, both time and effort are essential when different species attempt to peacefully coexist. Different identities and ways of thinking all contribute to strengthening the barrier between... There aren't many suggestions I can share, because just like you,
Oh, I see. I'm confident that we'll find the meaning...
I believe in you, but you shouldn't lose sight of the difficulties ahead. If you run into any trouble,
Huh? Is he the
Yes?
That stone-faced human. He didn't even bother to look at me.
He is an earnest man. There will be plenty of opportunities to work together in the future.
Hello. Can I help with anything?
Thanks, but no need.
Oh. Hello. I'm Carol.
Get away from here! I'm calling the guard.
Please, calm down.
Hard to say.
Yeah, we should probably stay away from these monsters.
Why should we trust this species from who knows where anyway? I can't believe no-
Exactly! That so-called Chief Justice even granted them official positions. Not only that, but they're now responsible for—
Go away! Quit!
I'm not leaving. We joined the Maréchaussée Phantom and solved lots and lots of cases.
Solving cases? With Neuvillette and Co. So tell me, How can you get—
Didn't I tell you before? Don't go advertising if you're not a good talker.
Vautrin?
Aside from spreading unjustified rumors, if you continue insulting members of the Mare Chaussee Phantom, there have indeed been an increase in cases recently, perhaps due to the shifting currents of conspiracy.
Even the captain of the security patrol is on—
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
You heard that?
Yeah, I don't understand.
There have been rumors saying that you were born from Calamity. There are countless negative rumors about you floating around in Fontaine. It's near impossible for you to become a part of this society.
Monsieur Neuvillette said that we needed to put both time and effort in. I still want to try a little... Okay, I won't be taking any more of your time.
Give them to me.
You're...
We'll hand them out together.
Monsieur Neuvillette... Oh,
Medals of Peace, awarded to you. Thank you for your continued dedication in the past 5 years.
I think I'll pass.
hey, don't say that. It won't be long before Melazines begin living peacefully.
Don't keep your hopes up. We've barely scratched the surface. There's still...
You block...
Vautrin brings up a good point. The trust humans have please be on your guard.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
Medal of Peace? Peace isn't going to...
Are you sure we should do this? We're no match for Neuvillette, even with all our powers combined.
Nah, not gonna happen. As long as their rules even he must comply with in the political sphere. Unless he wants... So quit worrying and just go ahead with it. I've already planned out the murder. Once we lay the blame on the Melazines as the person who...
I guess you're right. Ugh. If he just left things the way they were, it never...
Turn the murderer in!
Melazines can't be trusted! That goes for Neuvillette, too!
peaceful coexistence? What a joke. Get out of the court of Fontaine and don't ever come back!
The results of the investigation are in, Captain.
Go on.
There is no direct evidence, but reasonable inference indicates that the ones controlling the situation, they tricked Miss Carroll into going to the crime scene and pressed charges against her. After that, they incited panic. The guards were stopped by the enraged mob and couldn't intervene in time.
And she called me a blockhead. A little investigation would have cleared things up. Why didn't she wait until we'd established the truth?
The situation had rapidly escalated to a physical altercation between infuriated... Captain Vautrin, should I present these results to...
There's no need. Notify the guards to...
restrict access to...
There's something I've never told Carol. I had a little sister. She's just like Carol in every possible way. Innocent, kind. From the moment I met Carol, I knew that she'd be easily manipulated by others. I kept...
Looks like she was unfazed.
Yes. In fact, some of her I should have known. Those cowards don't have the guts to confront Neuvillette. They even avoided causing... Can you understand how I feel? Right now, there's only one...
I understand, but I'm certain Monsieur Neuvillette wouldn't
That's exactly why we need to keep this a secret. Give me the list. I will take responsibility for everything.
Did you know? They're hearing a major case today, and the criminal is Captain Vautrin of the Special Security and Surveillance, but apparently, he resorted to personal measures to seek revenge for Carol, and I'm thinking... we should try our best to bail him out?
Shh, keep it down! Haven't you realized? Both Vautrin and Carol are Nervilette's most trusted subordinates. Besides, now that the old regime has been uprooted, Nervilette's status is secure as can be. As long as we
Vautrin sought vengeance for his friend for a valid cause. Please, think about it. If the same thing Yeah, that's right!
This whole thing started because of those despicable cowards who levied false accusations against Carol.
Monsieur Neuvillette.
Mr. Vautrin is innocent! He's innocent!
Order! I acknowledge your arguments. Vautrin, I understand your decision. Which is why I can... Personal justice does not equate to justice as defined by the law. To execute your plan for revenge, you abuse... Therefore, you will be declared guilty.
What?
That can't be! Monsieur Neuvillette, please give this a look.
Vautrin,
Neuvillette, what have I done to deserve this? I've closely followed every one of your orders. Can't you see? Everyone in this room believes that I'm innocent. Why can't you just let me off? Is this what justice means to you? Answer me, Neuvillette!
Order. Since there have been no further objections, the oratrice will now... According to the judgment of the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale, Mr. Vautrin will be declared guilty.
Goodbye, Monsieur Neuvillette.
This all happened because of Carol's naive ideas.
How can different species peacefully coexist anyway?
Apologies, it seems like my memories got the better of me. I tried my best to suppress the power of Hydro within myself, but it seemed due to my negligence. The overflow of emotions and memories must have affected...
Wow. The Hydro Dragon... Anyways, the last time we came here, the Traveler only heard
It is as you said. It is not only the fountain. I can sense emotions from all water.
That sounds
But I rarely ever do anything like this. Emotions carried by water are always chaotic and disconnected. At which ones? It's fine. I prefer not to speak of those memories. It was a coincidence, but perhaps it is a... You should now understand why I believe there to be a conspiracy behind all this.
Paimon's starting to lose... Don't leave Paimon out of the conversation!
Then let us get back to the point. While I was investigating the fountain, I did not sense too much hatred towards me within its accumulated emotions. However, I did find some resentment directed towards Kiara. I don't know what caused this to happen, but it seems like there won't be a shortcut to...
Oh! Didn't we read about...
You've read about it? In that case, the resentment should have...
Huh? What are you doing here?
Navia! Nice to see you again! Is there something...
I've heard some things, but I'm not purposely asking. Rumors are abroad that someone's scheming, so I told the Spina di Rosula to keep an eye out for leads. We've had unfamiliar faces showing themselves at the Fleuve Cendre lately. Maybe you'll find the suspects...
Thank you. Where did you hear about all this?
The Chief Justice out on investigation, accompanied by the Traveler from afar. No matter how you conceal your you talked to Kiara, but didn't ask her to keep things secret. People curious to know asked her...
So that's what Charlotte meant.
Indeed. I did not expect that this could be kept hidden for too...
You know, Anyway, any
The suspects who threatened Kiara might have to do with a certain smuggling case, but it is still... We are planning to return to the Palais Mormonia to revisit some details.
All right, then I'll round up the Spina... Wait for my word. Ta-ta!
Neverlet, do you think there'll be any problem?
I have already considered that possibility, and I do not think that there will be any. As a matter of fact, once the... What is more important is how the case is perceived by the public. 400 years ago, they chose to side with the... I hope the same won't happen again.
Strange. What are these people doing out on the streets so late at night? Did something happen? Let's take a look around.
Have you heard? Someone's plotting against Amelazine. This is 100% the truth. Even the Chief Justice is investigating in person.
What? That's it! Who's been threatening Melazines? Show yourself!
Our enemies are lurking in the shadows and won't easily reveal themselves. But no amount of...
That's exactly what I wanted to say. The guards have... Think about how much we owe them. Now that they're in danger, how can we...
Everyone, please stay alert to your surroundings from now on. If you see any...
It feels like you've been following me this whole time.
We were informed that... Nope. We just...
Have you had dinner yet? Why don't we check out the new items at the...
This isn't a good time to be...
Come on. Don't act tough.
All right.
You shouldn't ever skip meals. Especially if you have another shift scheduled for later.
I heard even Nervulet's keeping an eye on the situation. This is the perfect chance to get promoted. We can...
Seriously? Were you planning to shirk your duties?
Relax, I was just playing. We've worked together for...
That's more like it. We should stand guard.
Come and fight me instead, you cowards!
Have you heard? Even the Special Patrol came to help.
Shh! Look! Isn't that Nervulet?
Looks like there's nothing to worry about.
This is true.
So...
No, I should stay where I am. Let us stick to our plan and return to the Palais. The smuggling case was solved by the joint forces of the guards and the Maréchaux. The list of involved suspects should be...
What does it say?
The principal offenders Domenico, Inica, Yuna, and others have been caught. They have been sent to those with close connections or mutual interests with the offenders, but who did not participate in the... Among them, surveillance of Essin has ceased on account of his good behavior. All...
So many names.
Yes, there is something suspicious. It seems like he's closely related to the core members of the smuggling case.
Monsieur Nervulet, someone claiming to be from the he said, and I quote, Huh? How did Navia find them so quickly? We've only...
I too am perplexed.
Whoa. Check out all these people!
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent...
Invite them over.
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to be
I've wanted to have a meetup like that.
But... Oh well. Let's get back to...
Yes, that's me.
You're Essa?
Yes, Monsieur Nervilette.
Did you write that threatening letter?
I did, but I was just...
Orders from whom?
Domenico. He was my boss.
Domenico? Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourself.
You've done more than enough.
Leave the formalities for later. You should... If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy...
All right, then. Let's head to the...
It's Monsieur Nervilette?
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself!
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right... I do remember a thing or two about Domenico.
Who does this guy think he is?
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to...
He's got the same concerns we do.
I'm concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet
That's an easy one. Let me think.
Did I hear someone say Melusine? What happened? Siegeween! Yeah, and we're investigating. Really? Is Kiara...
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still... Is there...
Head nurse. Do you require...
Wriothesley.
Okay, I get it.
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally Thanks for the trouble.
Whoa. If Paimon were you here, Grace, Paimon would take...
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure... But enough jokes. I'll look for Dominique. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm...
Please come with me to the infirmary. And watch your step. There's some pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon. Huh?
Please rest here for a moment. Oh, and would anyone like anything? Paimon's not that. Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have... I'll bring you some tea. Typical Siegeween. Why aren't you two saying anything?
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests look...
Familiar? But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
That's not a bad idea.
Anything you need? Oh, this? Are you in?
What's that?
We have a very long history. Going back as we have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have much of a helping each other is our purpose. At the same time,
Sounds like a pretty neat work.
all we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not, but people won't give us a hard time.
Interested in joining the mut? If you'd like to learn more, here's our... Our slogan may have evolved over the Here, this book is...
You two look kind of familiar. It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid Network designed... From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals. The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used his strength against... All of us have a lot of...
We should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neverlet.
Did you manage to gather any?
The people who wore the badges according to them, the badges designed...
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only...
Oh, so the network was inspired... Monsieur Neverlet, His Grace has requested your presence in his office.
All right.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman. Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neverlet? What do you want?
Calm down. Was it your idea to send that letter to him? Essin has already confessed.
That idiot!
Let me ask this another way. It would...
Yeah?
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame me for some...
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse.
I can do that.
You see, we're all...
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised... After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of... But I refused to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines?
My initial target was Neverlet. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him, after all. So... But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That Mutual Aid Network in particular... How did those nobodies even... In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melody. I recall that Chiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Chiara and...
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been...
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scam...
Yes.
Sigewinne, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later. So, Monsieur Neverlet, you were concerned that...
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past.
And how long ago?
More than 400 years.
You might be overthinking this. Time can change a lot of things.
What do you mean?
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers but in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for—
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment. People no longer have any reservations about you, and right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words,
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Dominica.
I am undeserving of such high It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact,
there's no need to be so modest. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wish to investigate—
I must say that you've made a Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now—
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not
Thank you for the offer, but while some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be— The less time I spend here, the better.
In that case, I'll have to insist.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Dominique.
I know of what you— The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memoria's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal—
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Hey now, don't let your imagination run. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with—
Great! That's one thing out of—
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now—
Yep. Neuvillette thought they're back.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member— I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout— In other words, how he presented himself in—
What? During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared—
Perhaps he had been putting on an
act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were and to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very— That's all from me. Does anyone else—
I don't have anything to say. Well then, let us—
Please, take care.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it? Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes,
What I really think is, every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
That is indeed a reason. As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself. But I trust your judgment. Since these changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Oh, huh? It's raining! Oh no, Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
It's raining again? I've had enough of this weather.
There go my travel plans.
Did you read the news this morning? Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
When is this rain going to stop?
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meropide. It's a good place for me.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past.
Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Is the matter resolved?
Yep, we found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own.
By the way...
At the Palais Mermonia, more than 50 people offered to protect her. Some even hid within... I was worried that the excess of protection would make her feel uneasy.
What? Well, now it looks like the dust to celebrate this joyous occasion.
That's not how you celebrate!
I will consider it.
Really?
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but come up with questions during the intervening days.
Yes! Thank you so much, monsieur!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation results. I hope it will assuage the concerns of all.
Oh, an exclusive interview! Am I dreaming? What should I ask him? Don't let anything hold you back. Make the most of this opportunity and ask away.
I agree. He'll decline any question he can't answer anyway, so you might as well give all of them a shot.
Kiara? It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught—
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me.
Do you remember Domenico?
Let me think. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now. In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my— I can't remember what our dreams were anymore. And I don't—
I can sense your joy.
Monsieur Neuvillette. Oh, I almost forgot. I promised a model for Alov.
Of course. Off you go.
See you next time, Monsieur. Traveler and Big—
See you next time.